Tyson is recording record sales. Meanwhile, farmers are still taking the biggest hit. Let's talk about this. Okay, so first off, let me just apologize for being absent for this week. I know I did like one video. I thought I was getting over this, and then we kind of all got sick again. Whatever this was that we had really put us down. So looks like I'm at the tail end of it. Hopefully we'll get some videos out, and we'll have you guys some new content this week. Now, I am going to be drinking some coffee through this, so just bear with me. The Tyson, so Tyson being one of the largest meat processors here in the U.S. So we got the four big ones. There's Cargill, Tyson, JCB, Johnson, something, whatever. I don't remember the names of them all. Anyways, I'll post it down in the description because I can't remember the names off the top of my head. Excuse me. Y'all know we don't sell at the sale barn, so I never deal with their representatives or anything, so I always forget who they are. But anyway, so Tyson's now reporting, some of the largest sales that they've had. We're seeing beef, chicken, and pork up 30%, 20%, and 12% respectively. So we're seeing massive increases in prices at the stores, and we're seeing Tyson taking huge, larger profits. Now, from a capitalist standpoint, Tyson should be able to take larger profits. They're the capitalist entity in this mechanism, in this cog, in this wheel, and they should be allowed to make a profit. And I don't think there should be any government regulation determining how much profit they make. What I do think should be happening is that more people should be using local farmers and custom cut processing, and going around these big guys. Or we need to be looking at having ranchers combine together, like we just saw down in Texas, where they're opening up USDA inspected facilities, and just edging out those bigger guys. I think that needs to happen, because right now Tyson holds all the purse strings, and Tyson is not known for doing the most ethical business practices with their farmers. Now, the price of beef at the sale barn is a direct reflection of all of this, because the price of beef at the sale barn has not really astronomically gone up. It's not really gone down. It hasn't really changed. Excuse me. So why is the price of beef not changing at the sale barns? Well, the thing about it is that those prices are based on the willingness of farmers to sell. And small farmers selling because a buyer goes in there and he might buy a whole lot that has 300 steers in it. And that lot is provided by not usually one rancher. It's going to be provided by 20 different small ranchers, each with 20 to 50 cows, whatever it is. And they're going to be the ones to provide that there, and so they don't have enough ass in the game to really have some leverage. Now, the guy that we buy hay from, he has a completely different model. He sells hundreds and hundreds of cows a year, but he doesn't sell them to at the sale barn, so there's no middleman in that. He sells directly. He has a list of processors that he calls, and he says, hey, I've got 60 cows, 50,000 pounds of beef basically, that'll be ready here. When do you want to, and I'm sorry, not processors, he doesn't call it processors, he has a list of feedlots that he calls, and he sends them there, and the feedlots finish them out. So that to me is a much stronger business model, where we just cut out the sale barns entirely, and that's what we have done by selling direct to consumer. So that's what has to happen in order to fix this. So if you have a problem with the way that Tyson or Cargill or whatever the other two ones are that I'm blanking on their names, if you have a problem with the way that they run business, then at this point in time you kind of have to put your money where your mouth is and start finding local guys. There are local farmers around you. I don't care where you are. If you're in New York City, there's a local guy around you that'll grow you a beef. I promise you. So there are people around you. Just kind of you might have to do a little bit of research and dig a little bit to find them, but you'll find a local guy or gal, I guess, that will raise you beef and pork. That's not particularly hard to find. A little bit harder to find a chicken guy, because chicken's a little bit more work, but beef and pork is certainly not hard to find. So I would encourage you guys to look around and see what you can find, because right now what's going to happen is Cargill and Tyson are going to make the majority of these profits. The store prices will eventually catch up to that, because Walmart's going to want to make the same cut that Tyson's going to make, and they're having the same inflation reasons for raising prices that Tyson is. So the price of beef is going to continue to rise because of that. Now, whether the cattle guys at the sale barn will ever start receiving more, that kind of remains to be seen, because the problem is as long as people are willing to sell it for cheaper, sell it for a loss, or sell it to just barely make money, excuse me, then there'll always be there's always too many low ballers in there to ever drive the prices higher. So really what needs to happen is, if those guys want higher prices, they're going to have to hold out a little bit and say, you know what, we're just not going to sell this year. We've got the cows, but we're just going to hold off and sell direct to consumer. So or just fade them out and keep holding them. So they're eventually, you kind of have to draw your line in the sand on this if you want to actually be able to put a stop to it. So very interesting that Tyson is able to produce such good profits in this. I'll post a link to the article below so y'all can see all the numbers. But it's very interesting that Tyson has been able to produce such good profits during all this issue with inflation, that they're having one of the best quarters of their lives, and yet all the cattle ranchers and the stores are struggling. So it's again, capitalism, they should be allowed to make their money. I'm not against that. What I am against is for businesses holding a monopoly on a system and passing regulations that benefit them in this system, right? So the FDA does not help out small farmers, right? The FDA is designed specifically to make sure that those four guys basically are playing in a set of rules, and it's not designed for custom cut. That's why we're USDA exempt, right? We're custom cut. That's what that means. We don't have the USDA inspection, so we fall outside of the federal government's authority on that currently. So the system, they designed the system, they lobbied for the changes in the system in order to make it to where they had an equal set of rules that those four could play by, but that nobody else could really enter in the marketplace because the barrier of entry is so expensive. So that's one of the issues here. So that's why I have a problem with this. It's not because I'm an anti-capitalist. I'm very much a capitalist, but I do not like monopolies, and I don't like using this cronyism where we've bought and paid for friends and lobbyists to actually make the rules change in order to benefit us, but nobody else can play. So that's where my issue resolves with this. So again, way around it, defund them, guys. Defund them. Find local farmers and get with those local producers to find your feed and to change the game on them. You can do the same thing with produce. You can do it with poultry. You can do it with anything that we're eating. You can find local producers. So guys, I'll let y'all go. I appreciate y'all watching. We're going to get this video out to you today, and I'm going to really struggle this week, but we're going to get as many videos done as we can. So thanks again for watching, y'all. I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.